All eyes will be on the Pan-African Parliament as it elects its new leadership today. Beg your pardon. These elections have been marred by clashes between regions over the principle of rotation. Newzroom Afrika's Tumaole Mohlaoli is in Midrand for us. That's where proceedings are likely to unfold. He joins us now live. And Tumaole, despite how contentious this rotational policy issue is, there's still no clarity around how it will be dealt with as we prepare for the election of the new president.
Well, indeed, the election of the new president, and in fact, the election of the Bureau, which is, of course, the leadership of the Pan-African Parliament, is really a contentious issue because there was no real policy around how it is handled. We do know that according to the understanding, certainly, of many of the parliamentarians here, there was a principle in place that it would be rotational. This would mean that each region, which would be the North African region, East African region, West African region, and the Southern African region, would have the presidency of the Bureau each year, and this would be rotated. But it seems as if some regions have broken rank with that, saying that they will then put their own candidates forward to ensure that they have a chance, and therefore there will be an elective process. This has caused much contention. But to bring us more into what we can expect, I'm now joined by my colleague Hugo Ribatika. Hugo, what can we expect today?
Well, today is a big day. It's the election of the president of the Pan-African Parliament, and as you said, it's been a really topical issue as far as which candidates have been put forward. There was a challenge with the Southern African candidacy where there were two candidates, Chief Jarumbira, Senator from Zimbabwe, and MP Chihuna from Malawi. Now, in speaking to one of the commissioners, or one of the parliamentarians yesterday, Julius Malema actually yesterday, he said that these were just individuals who felt that they had a just cause to stand for the parliamentary election presidency process, but there was going to be an election process within the SADC cohort, and within that election they identified that Fortune Charumbira would stand up for the presidency, and he's obviously vying against the East African cohort that's coming in today, and that's Albino Agua.
So, Hugo, what is the view of the African Union about what has been happening here and in terms of the handling of this particular election process?
Well, you will recall that yesterday the president of the AU Commission, Maki Mohammed, was stressed at the point that they didn't want to have the level of violence. In fact, they didn't want to have any violence, referring to what happened last year, when it was Parliament was actually called off because of that. And the adoption by the African Union of the rotational policy is what they've gone ahead and suggested. So even though it has not been ratified as a measure of principle, that is what they agreed yesterday.
All right. Hugo, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed with what is happening here at the Pan-African Parliament, certainly what we can expect. So that will be what we can expect. And then according to the program, of course, this should kick off at around 10 a.m. We're expecting the President of the Commission of the African Union, that would be President Mohammed. And it will be interesting to see what his view will be around the whole issue of the election of the Secretariat. Of course, conscious of, as Hugo just highlighted earlier, about the violence that broke out here on the election of the Secretariat. This was a year ago exactly. So all eyes will be on that process and how it is managed. And of course, the management of that process will set the tone going forward for the rest of the program and the agenda of the Pan-African Parliament. With that, respect to you in the studio.
Tumaole Mohlaoli, live to us there from Midrand. Tommy, thanks very much indeed.